Like and subscribe right now or you're going to have bad luck for the rest of the week. Well, hello there everybody. Welcome to our video of some bizarre animals. Let's go look at them, shall we? 10 most bizarre animals that shouldn't exist. Number 10. Red-Lipped Batfish. Our first entry on the list is the red-lipped batfish, which looks like it is going out to an expensive restaurant on a Friday night, and you can't change your minds about that. This fish can be found around the Galapagos Islands and off Peru, where they swim around at depths of 3 to 76 meters, or 10 to 250 feet. Though swimming might be the incorrect word for these fish. They are known to be bad swimmers and instead use their fins to walk along the ocean floor. As they reach a mature size of usually somewhere around 40 centimeters or 16 inches, they develop another body part on top of their heads which acts as a lure to prey on. Though, they mainly hunt for smaller fish with bad vision, as the red-lipped batfish isn't in a position to swim after their prey, so they rely on their prey not noticing them instead. Not a very great hunter, but definitely an interesting animal to study. Number 9. Great Patu. If you look at pictures of the great patu online, it seems like the bird was photoshopped to look this derpy, but these birds shouldn't be taken lightly. Something to keep in mind is that their most famous pictures only became famous because they caught the patu bird at the silliest possible moment or the worst possible angle. The great patu is a species of bird that lives in Central and South America. The great thing about this bird is that it uses camouflage as a way to avoid predators. Their colors and markings make it easy for the bird to pose as a big branch. That is, of course, if it doesn't open its eyes or move. The thing here is, though, is that it doesn't have to open its eyes to see. Yes, you heard that right. The great patu has special notches on their upper eyelids that allow them to see and detect movements, even when their eyes are closed. Pretty cool, isn't it? Seeing with our eyes closed would be cool, but it wouldn't be very practical while sleeping. Number 8. Wolverine frog. So, have you ever seen a hairy frog? No? Would you want to? No matter your answer, we will show it to you anyway, so buckle up! The hairy frog can be found in many different areas, including the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Nigeria, and Cameroon. It prefers subtropical or tropical forests and plantations, so there is a chance of finding them at such places. The hair grows on the males during the breeding season to help them breathe underwater longer, allowing them to guard their unhatched eggs because going to the surface too often may attract predators. You might not believe us, but the hair on this frog isn't the weirdest thing about this species. The frog can break its own bones to produce claws that puncture through the frog's toe pads so it can defend itself. Now you can probably see where the Wolverine part in their name came from. This frog is also called a horror frog, which doesn't need to be explained after we just told you the information about this species. Scientists assume that breaking their bones is a gruesome defense mechanism. What do you think about this? Let us know in the comments down below. Number 7. Streaked TENREC. While researching this TENREC species, we couldn't stop chuckling. They just look so ridiculous, like a Pikachu, but it's also a mouse mixed with a hedgehog. They also look like they had just woken up and haven't had the time to brush their hair yet. The streaked TENREC can be found in the lawless lands of Madagascar, which also houses Fossa and Ai, who also look a little odd. A true playground for evolution. Their main diet consists of earthworms, and they are adapted to hunting them quite well. They can be seen tapping their little feet on the ground, which is believed to increase the activity of the worms, which makes for easier foraging. As if they weren't cute enough already, they can communicate with their quills too. When getting lost in Madagascar's rainforests, they use the quills on their back to make a noise when rubbing them together, and the TENREC is also the only mammal to be able to communicate this way. Aren't they just adorable? Number 6. Shoebill stork. Many people that see a picture of this bird find that they look quite terrifying and not very friendly at all. One of the most fascinating things about the shoebill stork is the way it moves, so get ready for some scary facts. This bird can stand perfectly still for hours on end, while winning a staring contest against anybody who would be foolish enough to try. Thankfully for us, this bird mainly eats fish, frogs, water snakes, and the occasional turtle or rodent. This species is considered vulnerable on the conservation status scale and isn't a species to see very often. If you'd like to go birdwatching for this specific one, you'd need to travel to Eastern Africa and especially the wetlands near the Nile. However, we would advise against this, as you would also find snakes, crocodiles, and aggressive hippos. Number 5. Saber-toothed deer. This is an especially interesting looking one, as there are quite some differences on this creature from the deer we know. The most obvious one is that it has sharp tusks instead of antlers on the top of its head. While eating, the deer can retract these teeth into a position where the teeth won't get in the way while the deer chews food. When in a fight with another male, this deer may push its tusks forward to seem more intimidating, and in order to also do more damage in a rival match for territory or for a female water deer. This is the reason they are often referred to as the vampire deer, which is pretty descriptive if you ask us. We can definitely see the resemblance to a fictitious bloodsucker. We simply don't know the reason why the water deer have tusks, but one of the theories is that this deer is a very primitive species and has existed before the more common deer. Evolution may have found it easier to develop tusks for them instead of coming up with the more advanced antlers. Both of them have the same function, to protect territory against other deer threatening to take over. Number 4. Peacock spider. For people afraid of all kinds of spiders, now is your chance to look away for just a little while and look at some cute pictures of puppies. However, this little arachnid isn't all that scary looking, and surely with a name like peacock spider, it shouldn't look frightening at all. Like many other spider species, this spider is native to Australia. As if Australia didn't have enough spiders already, right? While this species does have venom just like its relatives, this venom isn't nearly strong enough to hurt humans, and the peacock spider is completely harmless to us. What the little spider is mostly known for is its mating dance. The male raises his abdomen to reveal a colorful pattern and raises 2 legs off of his body to stick into the air. This little dance looks like a tap dance and is used to mesmerize a potential mate. Should he be unsuccessful with this dance, he shall end up as a meal for the female. So this is a dance for life and death. However, it does look incredibly cute when you play music over it. Number 3. Thorny dragon lizard. This next entry on our list is sometimes also referred to as the thorny devil or mountain devil, and it is native to Australia. Thinking about it, a lot of dangerous and weird-looking animals are native to Australia. Evolution's playground, some may say. The hard spines on its body help it against predators because, let's just be honest, you wouldn't like to eat something thorny like this either. As another defense, it also has a false head on the back of its neck, which is used to deter predators. It sticks its real head between its legs and sticks out the false one. Like this, it might not get wounded as bad in an emergency. Another cool feature on the body of this lizard is its ridged scales, which can collect water between them simply upon contact. A complicated principle called the capillary principle allows the water to be transported to the mouth through the skin. A magnificent but odd-looking creature. Number 2. Platypus. You might be surprised that an animal such as the platypus would be on a list of bizarre animals, but there is a lot of weird information about this animal that most people don't even know about. Well, this is where our channel will fill you in. The platypus, native to eastern Australia and Tasmania, is an animal that is quite well known, much thanks to the famous cartoon series Phineas and Ferb, where Perry the platypus is one of the main characters. While the platypus already looks quite unique, with the tail of a beaver and the snout of a duck, that is not all it has going for itself. When first discovered back in 1799, the scientists that examined the body of the platypus claimed it was a fake animal that was sewn together with different parts of other animals. It is also one of the rare mammals that doesn't give birth to live young but lays eggs instead. But here is where it gets really interesting. Did you know that male platypus are actually venomous? They possess a spur on their hind foot that delivers the venom, and this venom is very painful to humans. So, while the platypus may look docile, it is better not to get too close. Number 1. Tardigrade. For our number 1 entry, meet the toughest animal on Earth. Though this animal is relatively small, it is surprisingly tough. You may be able to spot them with the naked eye, however, you would have to look really close. On average, they measure less than 0.5 millimeters. Even the biggest tardigrade is still less than 2 millimeters. That is not the only difficulty in spotting them, however. They aren't only insanely small, but also transparent. Now we come to discuss the various environments the tardigrade can survive in. The water bear, as it is often referred to, can survive sub-zero temperatures, boiling water, zero oxygen, both radioactive and cosmic radiation, and even the vacuum of space. And they didn't only simulate the vacuum of space, but were actually taken there and exposed to the full space experience. So why are tardigrades so tough? Well, it is all biological evolution. When the water bear is in an unsuitable environment, it will produce its own antifreeze and sugar that has remarkable preservation properties. When it does this, the tardigrade becomes mummified in a glass suit of armor. While in this state, its metabolism is reduced by 99.99%, and it just waits for a better environment. Pretty amazing, isn't it? Well, these were our 10 bizarre animals. So did you think we missed something, or would you have put another animal on this list? Let us know in the comments below.